Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for April 2023. We're going to jump right in here and see what is going on for you. You have this card that says, challenge yourself to be stronger than your challenges. You also have this card that says, be careful who you take advice from. I am a big fan of being very careful who you take advice from. You know, in 2026, we're going to have Neptune moving into Aries. And Neptune in Aries pretty much says, like, no gurus, or to be very careful, you know, of gurus. Because I think people could be kind of looking for a savior at that time. And the problem with that is that, you know, we could be attracting a savior who kind of, has a solution in one hand and a knife in the other. So, you know, I would be very careful of, kind of like other people's advice, including my own advice. And what I always say is that I think we should listen to people, of course, and listen to advice, but then we should put it into practice for ourselves and to find out for ourselves. We shouldn't just be, taking things as gospel. And, I think people say, think that I'm joking when I say this, but I literally always say, do not listen to me, right? Like, I'm just some dude on the internet, and I fell on my head when I was 10 years old, and I've never passed algebra ever in my life. How I graduated high school is like, freaking miracle. So, again, I would take information in and listen to it and then figure it out for yourself is what I feel like that's saying. But you do have this card that says, challenge yourself to be stronger than your challenges, which we see right here. For some of you, I feel like the challenge is going to be walking away from something. Right here, we see that there is a castle that is meant to look like it's crumbling. So Ace of Wands represents out with the old, in with the new. And if we go this way, we have the Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. So some of you could be holding on to something and that you need to walk away from. It's kind of interesting because I feel like you need to walk away from it. And by the way, this does not have to be a relationship. For a lot of you, I feel that this is talking about your finances because you have this Blessed card. You have this Pathway card here, which also represents like, kind of picking a new path, but it's a path of abundance in the Kipper deck. And you also have the Empress here as well. So it's like you're kind of like working towards something. I feel like you're ready for a change. It's interesting that I get that word here on the Wheel of Fortune. I'm just getting that you're ready for a change. I'm not getting any of the like traditional, Wheel of Fortune stuff on this card. So, I kind of feel like you're at this point where you are just ready to, change your life or to take control of your life. It always, sometimes when I feel this, it reminds me of a story that I think Les Brown used to tell about a dog. It's like a guy had a neighbor whose dog was always barking and howling and, all this other stuff. And one day the neighbor goes over and is like, why is your dog barking? And the guy says, he's laying on a nail. And then the other guy's like, why is he laying on a nail? And he said, because it's not painful enough yet. So for a lot of us, this is basically, again, I paraphrase that story, but the whole point is that a lot of us, we stay in painful situations way too long. And then, we don't take control until it becomes painful enough. And I'm not saying that something has become painful enough, but I think you are just kind of at that point where you have decided to move away from something, walk away from something, whatever the case may be. You have the Two of Pentacles. I do feel if this is love that, again, going this way, it could be a person who juggled you, and there could have been conflict because of it with the Five of Wands. I also, I will say if this is love, I do feel that a person, if you left a person here, I do feel like they are like surprised that you walked away or had the power to walk away. Let's see. With the Ace of Wands, you have this Authority card. I'm pretty sure you've been getting these Authority cards. You have this Mature Man card, and it doesn't matter what gender you are, but that Mature Man card, it kind of represents like knowledge and wisdom. You also have this Pearl card, which says Uncovering Lost Wisdom, Hidden Knowledge. But a pearl takes a long time to develop inside of an oyster, and it's developed because a piece of sand got into its shell. So it's developed out of like an annoying situation, right? And, I'm kind of getting that energy here where it's like, I feel like you have been developed by your circumstances or by experiences or situations that you've gone through, but it's like you're developing a pearl of wisdom or, something that's going to make you more successful. Love it. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have this Protection card. I do feel like you are protected at this time. I'm not getting much there. And with the Two of Pentacles, you have this Assertion card. This is the Sun in Aries. If you want love, you could be attracting an Aries or a fire sign. You have a lot of fire here. I also feel that this could be saying that you asserted yourself in, in some sort of situation, like a love situation, and I feel like this is what's going to make you successful. Again, next in the area of the unexpected, you have this pearl. It says, uncovering lost wisdom, hidden knowledge. So I also get the whole pearl development thing like we talked about a second ago, but I do believe that we are in a time of hidden knowledge and wisdom, and it's not that it's hidden, it's just the fact that we have to look for it. So, I've been saying for years, since Saturn went into Capricorn, in 2016, I've been saying, and yes, I understand that Saturn is not in Capricorn, I'm just talking about since that time, I've been talking about this, that with all that Capricorn energy, you Capricorn, I would be learning as much as you can. Yes, you have to move a lot of dirt to get to the gold, as I always say, so you're not going to just find it. And look at this guy here. I want to show you. This guy has a ton of books behind him. So I believe that the answers to all our problems exist, but we do have to kind of like look for them, and I do feel you could be finding some. You have the Empress here. So I'll show you over here, but I do feel like you're increasing your abundance. She has this waterfall behind her, and the waterfall represents chaotic force. It's kind of, connected to the tower in the tarot as well. But it just represents the fact that she focuses on what she does have. She doesn't focus on the things that are going on in the world or worry about that. She just focuses on creating her own abundance. And that's what I feel like some of you need to do. I feel like there could be moments where you question yourself, where maybe you, are looking for financial advice or something like that. Maybe someone says something to you that you're like, I feel something different, but then you start to believe them. I feel like, again, you need to be careful of who you believe and who you take advice from, because I feel like you actually know more. It's like, again, sometimes I think we take advice from people and for no reason, or I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but again, I would just be careful of that, because I feel like you actually know more. And this is saying, focus on your own advice at this time. You have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I do feel like some of you are, going this way, have left the situation with a person that was really hard to let go of. I actually feel like you have let go of it, even though Four of Pentacles would represent holding on too tightly. I feel like you have, walking away here. I feel like there was too much conflict here, even if there wasn't fighting, right? Maybe it was actually harmonious, right? Maybe it was actually an okay relationship, but maybe there was competition. Maybe they were always talking to other people. Maybe they were, maybe you always saw them liking other people's pictures and things like that. So, I kind of feel like this person might have accused you of being controlling. And, I think there's a big difference between, boundaries and being controlling, of course. And so, I think you were just trying to draw boundaries, and maybe this person kind of tried to trick you and say that you were being controlling or something like that. Again, I feel like you're focused on what you do want. This is all that matters. We don't need to talk about past bozos on this channel, right? We can just focus on the future and focus on success and quick success. We can also focus on manifestation with the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands was traditionally the arrows of love, meaning we are always telling the universe what we want in love, and the universe responds. But the Eight of Wands can also be like what Esther Hicks calls your rockets of desire. You're always telling the universe what you want, and the universe is responding with inspirations, actions, things that you can do. So if you follow that, you'll become successful. With the Empress, you have this companionship card, so I do feel that there could be new love coming in for you, like a true companion, something very balanced here as well. It's kind of interesting because just in my head, I was like, equal relationship, and the message was like, no, balanced. So, okay, apparently it's just a balanced situation. Maybe it's not, for whatever reason, it doesn't want me to say the word equal. So, there you go. I don't know what that means, but, take it how it resonates. With the Four of Pentacles, you have this birth card. I would be careful getting pregnant, for sure. Empress, birth, right? So, if you're not trying to get pregnant, be careful. Obviously, if you are, go for it. On top of that, I really feel this could be the birth of a new idea. The whole entire reading basically kind of looks like the hero's journey. You have the Ace of Wands, which is like the start of the journey. You go down to this Eight of Cups, which is like walking into the unknown. And, well, so I shouldn't say that it's the whole entire hero's journey, but, the birth card would be kind of like going into the underworld so that you can be rebirthed. And, I definitely get that for a lot of you. With the Eight of Wands, you have this Order card. I don't know. A lot of people have been getting this. And, kind of what I feel here is that, something that's right for you, Capricorn, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, because I don't think anything in life should be necessarily easy, but I think there's a flow. It's like too many of us, I think, try to get into relationships and we try to like fix a person. We try to get them to fit into our life or whatever. Same thing with money as well. It's like some of us want to be very successful in life, so we just try to go towards some get rich quick scheme to get rich or whatever. But it's like those things never work. It's like, but there might be something that exists that's already in order. It already is meant for you. Let's put it that way. And I kind of feel like that's maybe what you're looking for. I feel like you're going on this journey in the area of what you need to hear right now. You have this journey and this mature man card. I do feel like some of you could be attracting a mature person. Obviously, if you want love, it could be any gender, whatever you're attracted to. And I do feel it's like a very mature person. But really, what I feel like this row is talking about is you. I don't think it's talking about a person coming in here. I think that what it's saying is that you have matured to a point where you now understand that, it's like nothing, you don't have to force anything to fit, I think that you are realizing that the things that are meant for you are meant for you. And I kind of feel like you're okay with that. It's almost like, and it's kind of funny because I get those words like popping into my head as well, Capricorn, like I'm okay with that. Like, but you're saying to yourself, you know what? I'm not going to try to just date any old bozo. And if that means I'm single for the rest of my life, I'm okay with that. But at the same time, you're not going to be single. I think what you are doing is like you're allowing the the flow by when we step out of our own way and we say, I'm okay with that. I'm just going to, not even worry about it. It's like that's when you find love. That's when you get the money that you've been waiting for, when you kind of move out of your own way. And I feel like that's the path you're on, and I just love that. I think that's awesome for you. And so I feel like this is going to bring a lot of stability into your life. You have the Five of Wands, the Magician, and the Eight of Cups here. Again, I would be careful of the past person. We do have a Mercury retrograde starting this month of April, and the Five of Wands is like conflict, competition. I feel like you were this person's like drug. So if you have a past person, I would be careful. I feel like they just create conflict in their life. It could be like I think it was Scorpio that I was talking to about this. So it might be a Scorpio if you're dating a Scorpio, or I can't remember who it was, but whatever. I was saying to one of the other signs, it's almost like this person has a person for each like aspect of their life. So again, you could have been dealing with someone who's like a real player. Maybe they have a person who makes them laugh. They have a person who makes them sad. They have a person they sleep with. They have a person they, go to KFC with, whatever, right? So I feel like it's like that type of person that you're walking away from. I feel like that's the type of conflict that they bring to a situation. Very strange. And again, it could be whatever sign I said it to. I can't remember really. You have this Magician, so you're focused on new beginnings. I feel like you're focused on leaving the past in the past here. You can see the Magician is pointing to the Nine of Wands. I don't want to skip too far ahead, but he's got those 8 wands behind him, and he's leaving those behind. And he's only carrying that wand in his hand. Guess what? That wand is right here, the Ace of Wands. So it's like you're very focused on having a new beginning. The Magician also represents a new beginning. And I feel like you're focused on creating your own reality. And you're also focused on not settling with the Eight of Cups. You're like, you know what? I know that there has to be something better than this right here. There's something that can totally fulfill me. Eight of Cups is not total fulfillment. Nine of Cups is considered fulfillment, or, total fulfillment, even though I think the 10 of Cups is better. It doesn't matter. We're splitting hairs here. So what I would say is, I feel like that something in the past wasn't right. It doesn't matter if it was a relationship, a business, an idea, could be anything. And I feel like this reading is saying that you have matured to the point where you're actually going to get what you truly want. With the Five of Wands, you have this Revenge card. I feel like this person caused a lot of problems, and they could be mad at you for the problem. It might have been Pisces, by the way, that I was saying this to, now that I think about it, but I can't remember, like I said. But I feel like this person did a lot, to ruin this situation. I don't really feel like they're out for revenge, but I do feel like they could be angry at you. As I always say, we have Mars leaving Gemini today. I'm shooting this on the 25th, and so today Mars is leaving Gemini, but it doesn't matter. I would say that, basically till, 2 weeks into April, I would just avoid gossip. I would avoid, any types of personal conflicts and things like that. And what I mean by, people always say to me like, oh, I live with this person, they cause all these problems. Just ignore it, right? It's just that simple. And so, learning to ignore these things, not engage, is what I feel like this is saying. Everyone has had that card, by the way. You have the Magician, which says decisions. The decision has been made. There's a chessboard here. I feel like you're playing chess and this past person's playing checkers. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like you have one up on this person if there's a person who's trying to mess up your day here, whether it's in love or otherwise, doesn't matter. And funny enough, Mars in Gemini. But by the way, this card is Mars in Gemini, so there you go. But what I would say is that I feel like you have one up on this person. I feel like you've already made a decision to move in a new direction. With the Eight of Cups, you have this discrimination card. This is not like discrimination like we think about it. It's a card of discernment, being able to pick the right situations. So whatever situations you have been through in the past, it's like I think you have learned how to tell what a good situation is and what a bad situation is. You finally see it. Here in the area of the good stuff, doesn't matter what shows up here, it's going to be good no matter what. You have this blessed card, and you also have this unseen card that says, though you don't see it, there's something better. There you go. That's all I need to say. You are being blessed with something much, much better in your life. You have the Queen of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. On a very simple level, I feel like everything here is encouraging you to go this way, which is towards the future. Even the Queen of Wands, she's kind of looking in this direction towards the future. Only the Nine of Wands is, only is this guy here looking towards the past. But, still, again, this is the good stuff. So for the most part, I feel like you're feeling excited and like enthusiastic about your future. I feel like you feel you have a bright future ahead of you as well. And I'm here to tell you that you're 100% correct. So, I wouldn't even worry about the past. I feel like there are some very exciting times coming in for you. The Queen of Wands would say maybe these times are going to be a little bit unusual. Again, the Queen of Wands, she doesn't have like the typical path in life. That's the whole point of the Queen of Wands, is that she is meant to be unique. She's very different. She's the only fire court card that doesn't have a salamander anywhere on the card. The page, the knight, and the king all have salamanders on their cloak, and the salamanders represent protection from fire. She just has this black cat, and the black cat kind of represents that she doesn't care what people think. She just kind of, moves towards what she feels like she should move towards. She actually has a sunflower, and the sunflowers represent the sun. Sunflowers point towards the sun. So all she focuses on is pointing towards her happiness, her own inner happiness, things that make her feel excited, enthusiastic, and all that other stuff. As long as you follow your bliss here in this reading. I know it sounds cliche, but that's what this reading is saying. If you do that, you will be successful. You have the Nine of Wands. So again, I feel like you were the wounded warrior. If this was like a breakup, a separation, or some of you could have experienced like a loss of abundance as well, like financially. I feel like you're finally getting out of this loss energy into something much better. With the Queen of Wands, you have this charity card. So yes, I feel like you feel like the universe is finally being generous with you. I feel like you finally feel like the universe is kind of maybe allowing things to work in your life. So you feel like you're making much more progress. With the Page of Wands, you have the Achievements card. This is the Sun in Capricorn, this card. So, I feel like Capricorn, there are clearly a bunch of achievements, and I feel there's like a lot of success coming in for you here. I also feel like a ton of happiness. But again, this is your card, and it's coming up on the Page of Wands, so follow your bliss. With the Nine of Wands, you have the this Independence card. Yeah, you might be feeling like you are feeling a little bit alone right now. But I feel like there's just, that as that card says, though you don't see it now, there is something better. So I feel like there is something much, much better that's about to enter into your life. And definitely could be love. And it could be this month, I feel, for some of you, that you could be meeting a person. I am also getting May. So, I feel like you could be meeting a person around the time of May. But take how it resonates. This is, I'm going to pull 5 main themes now. This is a little bit boring, the first two, because you have this Broken Ring card, says parting of the ways, either in romance or business. We talked about this the whole entire reading. Whenever this happens in a reading, I just take it as kind of like major confirmation that you're going in the right direction. So that's, if I were you, which I basically am, that's how I would take it, is I would just say, confirmation. You have this Claw card that says, be careful, do not take risks. I feel like this is talking about, number one, if pregnancy. So, be careful, basically, if you're not trying to get pregnant. Ace of Wands, Empress, birth card. Do I need to say more? Probably not. I would also say that this could be the risk of kind of going back to the past, so I would be careful of going back to the past. I wouldn't do it. You have this bouquet. It says compliments from an admirer. Very interesting here. I'm going to pull this next card. I want to see what it says. It says, Parrot, someone will gossip about you and all your secrets. And I almost pulled this card as well. It says spiritual love on it. I kind of feel like for some of you, I would definitely be careful gossip. Again, Mars in Gemini, even though it's leaving, I don't care. I would be careful if you're meeting a new person of spilling your guts. But I also feel like this could be a past person. Because again, you have the spiritual love card. And it's kind of funny because that spiritual love card kind of wanted to come off. That's why I pulled it. And so I feel for some of you that there could be an admirer coming in for you. And you might think that this person is just like this past person. But again, I wouldn't rush right in or anything, but I would give it a chance. So, it's like parrots mimic voices, right? So I kind of get that feeling here where it's like you could feel like this person is mimicking the past person, not literally, but, maybe there are some similarities. But I also feel like saying that, that basically it could be a really good person. But it's also saying, like, take your time. Did you learn from the first time to not, like, spill your guts on a first date or, whatever mistake you made, right? You have this September card and this Tower card. It says, solid foundation, success with effort. This is what I'd be focusing on right now if I were you, is I would be focusing on building foundations. Like, if you're building a business or a relationship, just focus on the basics and keep it simple. And by the time you get to September of this year, I feel like there will be a lot of success. You have this broom. It says new home, new attitude. I feel like this is talking about your environment. I mean, I'm a big fan, especially just based off the astrology for everyone, of changing your environment. And you don't have to move to do this. You can just rearrange some furniture. Again, I always use the story. I used to live in an apartment and I couldn't sleep for the life of me. I moved my bed to like another wall and I slept like for the first night in a long time, right? This was like years ago. And then I kept sleeping. So it's like you never know how changing your environment or changing the things around you could greatly improve your life, right? So I would definitely look into that. But this looks pretty good here, Capricorn. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.